Okay, next up we have the first keynote of this conference by Enric. Enric is a professor at the Open University of Catalonia, Universidad Oberta de Catalunya, and he's going to present his work with Snap and how he combines it with art. Thanks, Enric.
Thank you, Chadnia. Thank you. First of all, please smile. I would like to take you a photo. Wait for Chadnia. Okay. Thank you. Let me set the time. So thank you very much. I'm really very honored and humbled to be here today, sharing some projects and some work I did with you. When I was invited to give this talk, the first I thought was, I have nothing to, I do small things, so I will tell you, I will show you a collection of small things I'm doing, right? I will present 4 projects projects and initiatives that involves Snap. And been working on that project for several years. Each project is different, so we'll spend more time on the first one. These projects, and especially the people I work in those projects, change my view, the way I work, even change part of my life. And some of the people are here today, so thank you. Before I start, I give you some personal context. I have a background in computer science, human-computer interaction, and design. And in the last 10, 11, 12 years, I've been involved in media art. I'm a faculty member. That means I teach and I research at UOC. UOC is the Open University of Catalonia. It's a distance university, so we did distance education. So some teaching and learning initiatives I tell you is within that context of online learning. And we like to talk also about online teaching and learning, because if we say only online learning, it depends all on the learner, on the student. So the teachers, we also have to do something when we teach online, right? And about the talk, I struggled to find a title, Snapping to Snap, since all the things I'm going to show you involve Snap, so that I thought, and Bernat validated, that would be a good title. And also, I feel very to Snap because some of those projects wouldn't be possible without the Snap team and without the Snap community, so I thank you about that. So these are the 4 projects I will show somehow. I really plan to show you a lot of things, so I will rush and will go out of time, so I will keep to finish in time, and I will go fast or slower depending on the vibe and the mood on the room, right? I will start with teaching and learning, and the context for that is that my university, around 12 or 13 years ago, decided to offer a degree on design, 1 degree on design, mostly graphic design, but also digital design and interaction design, and 1 degree in art. Not a specific kind of arts, not media art, not digital art, but on arts. And I was asked to be part of the working group, and also I was asked to be in charge of designing and developing some of the courses, interaction design courses, but programming courses for that degrees. Both degrees has programming as a mandatory subject. So at that time in Spain, we were the only university offering mandatory coding courses in design and arts, right? So our course I will tell you about the course on the design degree, on the arts degree, Before working on that course, I worked on the course on the design, so I had some experience mostly related what should not do in teaching about programming to non-STEM students, right? So the main goal of that course was teaching programming, teaching interaction. So a big bet was to include interaction design within the curricula mixed with programming, and also in the context of art. So about learning to code, our approach was, yes, that code was a way of expression. So artists and designers engage with computing till the beginning of computing, and also engineers and mathematicians were involved with making art with computers. We see, as Mark Gasdayel says, always we see coding as a cross-disciplinary discipline, not only to get a job in a company like the one that is hosting us, but to being able to move around in the media, digital media world, right? And also, I was saying human behavior and agency, also we have very clear that the technologies, the way we use technologies as humans, the way companies push technologies on us shapes our human behavior and our agency, right? At that time, we were very proud of reading the book of Mark Raskoff, Program or Be Program, that if you remember, that title was very used to promote STEM courses, but was not about promoting STEM or learning to program, but promoting media, digital media literacy, right? And there is a new edition of that book that was out last November that include the new AI thing, and I think that book is more important than it was there. So we had a very clear path to teach how to program and the approach, but about interaction is always like the small brother or the poor whatever. So we took the approach of Bill Verplank, that was a professor at Stanford University, that he did that quite famous diagram at that moment, that what is interaction design. So we design what we want people to do within a system, a media, whatever. We need to take care of what those people feel after they act on those media. And we also, as designers, we need to take care of what's happening in the user's mind, right? What in design we call the mental models, right? So if you are using an interface or you are using that bottle, you need to act on that bottle, you understand, you feel the bottle, you open it, and then, because we have a previous map on how to use a bottle, we said, okay, I can drink from the bottle, if you allow me. So there is a very interesting video from Bill Verplank. If you look at YouTube, it's a video he did for the designing interactions. So Bill Moritz was a very good friend of Bill Verplank. They have a very nice book, Designing Interaction. It's quite old, but was quite important at that moment. And there is a nice video of Bill Verplank drawing and showing what interaction is. And also, Bill Verplank made us remember that, okay, the way humans develop is the opposite way, the way digital technologies develop. So humans, when we are babies, we need to touch, we need to grasp. We really don't see, we don't understand what's around, so we develop that with time, and then when we are mature enough, we have a symbolic thought, and the digital technologies work the other way. So in terms of interaction design, we have to meet in some point in the middle, and why we have that poor interaction design because we work in different directions, right? So for computers to be inactive, let's call it tangible interaction or embodied interaction, we still don't have devices to recognize. Okay, we all remember the Microsoft Kinect for the Xbox, but they discontinued it because it was really bad, right? So we don't have a new gaming console based on we have some things, but so that's was very important. So we go back to the course or the teaching learning experience. We wanted to introduce all those elements in our course. And about learning art, that I like also sometimes to joke, like learning to art because it's doing things, right? We took a critical approach in terms of we wanted to question the role of art in society in nowadays. We wanted to question the role of technology within the art context, and we also wanted to go in deep to that relationship that is an interesting interplay between the artist, the artwork, and the audience. We also that is in Catalan, but we build that big diagram to try to understand, because that when we talking about art made by or with computers, that's even more important because there is interaction. So the computer or the system somehow acts, right? And this is a similar diagram when we say in literature or in literature studies that the writer is always there when a reader reads a book, right? But with technology, it's even more there because as a user, we are suffering the bad or the good design decisions from the writer, that is the designer, right? or the programmer. So the course was about mainly about programming and interaction. Those were the main references. So I'm an academic, so I will try to show you a lot of references. At that time, that was processing was the main language to learn to code and were used to code, and there were a lot of books, a lot of initiatives at that moment with that. Processing, P5, open frameworks, Arduino, C++, pure data. Also in 2018, I was spending a summer in Boston. That summer I was visiting MIT, and MIT was hosting the Scratch conference. So since I was there, and I had some budget, so I remember some of you from there. So in fact, there we met at the Scratch conference in Barcelona, but with Jadga, with Jens, we met in Boston, and also with Bernat. Even though we are almost neighbors in Cornellà, and we met there. So there changed everything in terms. Why I was there, because I like the conversations that are happening here, like in places like here, conferences like here. So I was there, so it was an opportunity. I met the Snap team, I met Bernat. So everybody that I was talking to, I was telling him or her, we are working on that course, but we want to teach art students. We want to use, we still don't decide the tools to use. We want them to go to the, let's say, the market and to be able to do things, but I don't like to work with Arduino because you spend days and days just to turn on a LED. So discussing that with people, I met Bernat by chance. You're Catalan, what are you doing here? And I'm exploring this. Why don't you use Snap and Microbit? And that changed everything, right? And back home, I started to research learning sources with the Snap, and I found this. and this. So I never met Joachim, but I'm grateful for the work he did. So we also talk by email. And based on all this, so this is from Joachim.
Joachim is online too.
So hi. I'm a big fan. Nice to meet you online. So wrapping up all this, so the name of the course is Programming and Interaction Studio. It's an online course. It's 12 ECTS credits, so it's the double of a regular course in my university and in Spain. That were the two main focus, so programming and interaction. The learning pathway, we already, as I mentioned, we iterate the learning pathway for design and arts with the previous course. So we have clear that we want to start by drawing things with technology and then making that thing more automatic and then introduce interactions at movements and systems. So we develop that in the context of the art. In the second row, you see, so those are the main themes of the course. Those are the main assignments as well. And for each one, we have the elements we work for each assignment. And in the last row, you see how it fits in the area of digital art or computational art, right? And as you can see, the complexity grows as the students progress in the course. So the goal was not showing, showing that, but not to discuss that in depth, but I will be happy to discuss later in person or tomorrow and also get some feedback or some experiences from you. We also built a big diagram. I'm happy that the screen is really big because, it's a lot of information in a small place, but we organize more or less as we see it because in that subject there are different views as well. Where fits computational art inside digital art and inside algorithmic art and all those things. So we match it also with the 5 assignments. So this is an open educational resource, so it's available in Catalan and Spanish for anyone who wants to use it. And also about the tools, we decided on Snap and also at the first edition of the course with the microblocks, but then CityLab developed the ED1, so we are using the ED1 and microblocks. But since the market for creative people, artists, designers of tools is very big, we also built that big diagram for them to understand where each tool that in the market 2 years ago were. That's also an open source resource. So the learning resources were organized in four elements. So we have virtual campus, tech resources, a laboratory at home, and a laboratory online. The virtual campus, since we are an online university, we have a virtual campus with all the information, mostly text of the course, and another classroom just for technical questions. Is like an online forum for the technical questions about Snap, microblocks, and ED1 that Joan is in charge of that virtual lab classroom. We also have a set of text resources. So in the policy of my university is to use external resources when exist, or to develop our own resources, but also with a bet on having learning resources in Catalan, right? So we develop what we call notebook of programming and interaction with some of examples in Snap inspired with the Godier's Tekans. I don't know how to pronounce that in German, with the work of Joachim. We also have another resource, also open source, that tries to solve individual or specific questions about I cannot connect that my board with that, or how I declare whatever, or how to do that with Snap. So the idea is here you have the 5 students have the 5 challenges, the 5 assignments of the course. There is a story that builds all the learning pathway, learning progression through that, and we provide some explanations, we introduce a Snap, we introduce Microblog, everything, but at the end, if they have a specific question related to how to connect whatever or how to do that, so we have that more in a toolkit style learning material. And we have a completely theoretical learning material based on software studies and the history of art, of digital art, right? We also have what we like to call a laboratory at home, that is a physical kit that we send to our students. So since we are an online university, we don't have face-to-face laboratories. So our students are not there and we say, this is a microphone and we need to connect the microphone that way. So we send them the microphone and other things. We send them also, we include in the kit a card saying, no, that in a physical, in a face-to-face laboratory, the teacher would do, this is an LED strip, this is whatever. So we need to find other strategies to do that being online. So we developed that kit with the City Lab team, and we are happy. The collaboration we have with the City Lab team, we are happy how it works. It's not easy to work online with physical computing. Joan can tell a lot of stories about that, but if you remember when we do workshops, face-to-face workshops to connect the boards, I mean, everyone has the board connected to microblogs. We spend always much more time the design of the workshop on that. So doing that online and asynchronously, because mostly it's asynchronous, it takes for some students days to be able to connect the board on that. But for us, could be easier to have another way of teach interaction without the physical part, but for us it's important that material part of the digital world and also of the digital art. And we have a lab online that we call Code Lab, that is a tool that developed for working with activities in processing, that we are in the way of adapting to Code Lab. And since I want to tell and show you a lot of things, if we have time, I'll show you later a little demo of Code Lab, because we still, I mean, we'll start in this September to use it with Snap. So I can show you Code Lab, but not with Snap. So we are at the SnapCon, we talk about Snap. So thank you to the Snap team, because we have that course as it is. Thank you to the Snap community, to the Snap team. So this is the first project I wanted to tell you, and I used quite the right time to do that. So the second one is about live coding. It was around 2023. We were preparing the SnapCon in Barcelona at City Lab, and I met some people. I mean, I went to an art performance that involved chatbots, someone dancing, that I know a couple of artists. And after that, we were talking, and I asked them, where are you going? Are you going to have a beer or what? We are going, we have from scratch today. And I thought they have their own thing, but you can join us. So we went to a bar, a dark bar with a big screen. And when I entered there was a guy with code on the screen of that bar making music. And I asked them, what's that? And they are doing live coding. So they are doing music and visuals with code. The next day, at the SnapCon, I told Bernat, I met these crazy people, and that started as a big story, right? So what is live coding? It's create music, create visuals with code in real time. And looks like this. This is the screen with the visuals, the screen with the music, and here we can see also a performer with a classical instrument. It also looks like that. These are all small videos from the ICLC, the International Conference last May in Barcelona. Ambient music, noise music, electronic dance music, noise, as Bernard defined before. It was a really, really good performance. So we have that video. We will share you in the, I don't know, chat, you tell me, what's the best performance of the ICLC. So both of them have a computer. The visuals are like pre-prepared, but they were coding the arrangements and some of the sounds and also playing the battery and the guitar. So that was amazing. Well, this is live coding. So it's an artistic practice, it's performative, it's embodied because you use, again, the whole body. Interaction design, in the way I see interaction design, the embodiment is important because we tend to work with digital technologies and we thus dematerialize the digital technologies. We think there is nothing physical behind, and we think of the user as someone that just touches things, but touching thing is even embodied. But if you are like, I'm here, I'm embodying my presentation because I move, right? So it's improvised and it's immediate. I'll show you a little more how it looks like. This is the Algo Rave we did in Barcelona. Algo Rave takes the name from an algorithmic rave, right? So the goal is to have a rave, but music and visuals make with code. This is Timo performing. This is Niklas, that he developed his own programming environment. You see that the night goes on and people and music this is not from the Algo Rave, but it's a nice performance at that bar that I was mentioning. So we meet, so the live coding community from Barcelona, we meet last Thursday of each month at 7 at that bar. Anybody can perform. The only rule is called from scratch. The only rule is that you start with the empty editor, so you start from scratch. And we do a lottery to say, I do visuals, I do music, so we do a lottery that, okay, you do music with that visual list, or you do visuals with that music. Okay. Also, live coding have several, so the community of live coding, we like to call it the live coding ethos, so there are values, so like the main value is show us your screen. So it's not a kind of making music or making performance that I'm showing you something, but I have a big setup here that I just show you what I want. No, you see what I see as I'm performing right now. So I don't have the presenter note. So you're seeing my screen because that I'm changing to the Finder. Is called also thinking in public. Another value is embrace the error. So when someone makes a mistake, when the system crashes, so everyone's in the audience celebrate that. So and it's really fun and it's really nice because it's like a way of encouraging people to, I mean, be yourself, be creative, share your screen and share your music. Almost everything, because as we were saying, technology is a way that changes people's agency and human behavior. So we are not always able to follow an open culture approach, but from the top level community we promote that. And the community is very important because since we are sharing our screen, so each one learns from another. So since I would like to show Bernat performing. Bernat is doing the music here, and he saw that I had that big remote, and can you lend me that remote? And he distributed the remote to the public to make the public interact with the music. That's the public. Also, one of the values is show us your screen, but you don't need to show your face. If you see the other performer is wearing a mask, right? And he always wears something hiding parts of his body, but not his screen. This is also Bernat doing the music, and Sitlali doing the visuals with a language that is called Hydra. There's the microblocks with the library, with the, let's say, the previous library that he presented today. Okay, going back to the presentation. So at some point we ask ourselves, can we live code with the Snap? So another nice collaboration with the Snap team was the performer mode, right? So if you go to the configuration of a Snap, you can select the performer mode, where the stage takes the whole space, and the code, I mean, the stage is shown and at the same place that the blocks, right? And it looks like that. So thank you. No, it doesn't look like that, sorry. This is a Robolot that May, this is John and me. Jose and Bernat, you are able to see the different styles of music and also visuals, right? So Jose on that part is using a Snap. The first time we officially used the Snap performance mode was on the Robolot, but Jose was the first to use it at the new from scratch, with a very difficult musical experimentation, I have to say. And this is me. Also, was not easy my first time with Snap at the from scratch. I will not show more videos of, again, thanks Snap team and Snap community for listening to new ideas, to new ways of doing art with computers and with programming languages, and introducing that aspect in Snap. About interactive installations, I will be very short because I already did that in the Lightning talk. We sent a proposal to the ACLC conference to present an interactive installation. That was the initial diagram. We developed a little bit. We built our own controllers. We tried to use that plastic bag for the box for the buttons. It was not a good idea, so we used some good bamboo boxes. This is the controllers. This is Bernat and Joan doing on the last hours. We also built that card especially for the installation, and at the end it looked like that. So if you remember, we have an artifact doing music with microblocks and another one doing visuals with Snap. This is the official sign for the exhibition. And the idea is that an interactive installation is performative and is activated by the audience. So I will show you a video, but a very small video, because we would need the installation here to be able to show the installation, right? So this is where the installation was shown. This is the exhibition we did for the ICLC. This is our installation. So again, thank you, especially to Bernat, because it was really difficult to do an install. So Snap is not a programming language thought to be shown in an installation, and the first version we used the processing libraries with face recognition. We sent that data to Snap. We had to install a web server to get that information, so we needed 2 computers for doing that. So it really is not a programming language to do interactive installations, but, and that was me, I wanted to push on that, because if we are using Snap to teach, to code to our students, we want to do like interactive installation or generative art with Snap, right? So the last project I want to show you is about generative art. So since, I mean, we are tired, we start very early this morning, I will go very fast. Some of the characteristics of the generative art is that it's algorithmic, it's rule-based, so the artist design a set of rules that embed it in a computer in whatever programming language, and the computer execute that. So because of that, we say that the artworks are emergent, automated, because I program that, I press play, and the computer do today one thing and tomorrow another thing, right? So I wanted to show one of my referential artists, Sol LeWitt, American. He did not work, he was working in generative art that was called conceptual art at the moment, but with physical. But most of his artworks, or the artworks that even we have a wall by Sol LeWitt in Barcelona, he write down a set of instructions to the painters. So the painters go and went and painted the wall. take one line, paint one line of each different colors, and he had a list of colors, move whatever grades, etc. So we did sculpture and painting. Vera Molnar, that I was lucky enough to be in Paris and visiting Pompidou Center when they did the 100-year retrospective of Vera Molnar. That she even she died at the age of 99. So she was working preparing his 100th exhibition, right? Eusebio Sempere, that is very unknown, but it's from Spain, so I wanted to mention him. He started to work just, by hand. One day he went to the IBM building in Madrid and said, I want to draw something with the computers you have here, and they do some things, right? And he also did the sculpture and paintings. And also Friedrich Nake, that is German. And then the interesting thing of Friedrich Nake is that he was he's a mathematician that got involved in so he's not an artist that take a path towards generative art or computational art. He was a mathematician, he knew how to use computers, and then he started to create art, and he's a well-known artist. These are the credits for the images I used because it's the right thing to say and to do. So what I like to define as so the attributes I like to use for defining generative art as autonomy and productivity and co-authorship. If you remember the diagram I showed at the beginning, the artwork in the middle, the artist. So here we also are changing the rules or how the artist relates to the authorship, because as an artist I put the rules on the computer, but the computer do the rest. So he is co-author or co-artist as well, right? The computer is autonomous, creating the artwork, and is unpredictability that each time that you see or you execute that artwork is different. So and that's very interesting. The thing is that I was invited to be part of an exhibition in Barcelona about generative art, and that exhibition, and again I wanted to use Snap just to push Snap to be in an exhibition room that, as far as I know, never been before. And also I asked for some help to Bernat because, so this is the name, so most of the Generative de Barcelona, the second edition. This is the opening. This is the artwork that I did. If you see just a simple thing, so this is Snap. So in the opening of an exhibition like that, everyone asks you, or the different artists, what tool do you use, what programming language? People were really surprised to saying, no, this is a Snap. The good thing is that we were able, it's a small thing, but was very important for me. So we are executing that without the buttons and the URL at the top. So Bernat and Jens, as far as I know, maybe more people of the Snap team. But again, thank you, because we were able to, it's under my name there, but I think it's a collective artwork, because if not, I would have to use another language. This is the whole view of the exhibition. I have to say that that artwork like a lot to kids, because we had that there. So the theme of the exhibition was generative art beyond the screen. So it should be somehow interactive, or not just going there and looking at a screen, right? So kids like it a lot, as you can see. Like it in that way that I have to substitute the buttons several times, because, it also happened to me. So, sorry. that mechanical buttons are very like feel nice to pass. So you go there, you start to, and you take one, or maybe you lose it, right? Let me show what happened there. And this is how it looks. So I would like to. I don't have time, but I will take you an extra minute to show you. And if someone here, I don't have the web server installed, so I don't use that call for the big screen. So the artwork was exhibited like that, and we have that buttons if you want to use it, or whatever, or whoever wants to use it. It's a pattern. I mean, there's something random, of course, because if not, it would not be generative art. But each button has a sense. So, what for me initially was a way of providing different configurations at the end for the audience was like a game, a discovery game of what are these buttons doing.
Trigger warning, sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I guess so. Yes.
I have to say, and also say thank you to Dan Garcia, that at Olot, at Robolot, he presented a work he did with pixels, like a scientific thing that he did with pixels. So I wanted to do something with big pixels. I mean, they are not pixels, but the idea of big pixels. And in the process of working on the Dan's presentation and understanding what can we offer to the public, I end up with that. Going back to the presentation. This is how the whole exhibition. We also have generative art, but printed generative art. Right? This is the photo of the whole artist. And that were the 4 projects I wanted to show you. We have I have ongoing projects to introduce Snap at Code Lab that I will not tell you now, but maybe at the SnapCon next year as a lightning talk. We are also, because I also got Bernat involved in building a Snap Arcade, that we're in the process of building a Snap Arcade, and my plan for having a Snap Arcade is not having a Snap, I mean, I want to have a Snap Arcade at the university and put it in the university hall that everyone that goes inside see and ask, what's that? But I also want to invite my students at the final project of the course, do something like arcading generative art, no? So do something generative to put in the arcade. Maybe it's not a game, but with the buttons, as we do here, and with the controls, your art piece can be exhibited there. So my intention with that is that as an online university, we don't have an exhibition area as an exhibition area, but I can have a Snap Arcade that we can exhibit the projects they do with the Snap, and they can provide generative construction and also interactive with the arcade options. And again, thanks to the Snap team and community, and that was my presentation.
Thanks, Enric. Really, thank you. Can I give you a hug? Super nice.
Thank you.
Okay, if you have any questions for the keynote speaker or comments.
That again, I should not be keynoting this today.
No, Enric, come on.
But I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. Wait.
Hey, everybody. It's me again. I was wondering, do you offer doctoral? Like, what levels is the university at? You have
This is for undergraduate. We are in the process of designing an arts degree, an arts master degree that will open the path to do the PhD. If you already have a master on arts from other university, you can enroll and do the university at UC. If you remember, for example, Monica Rikic, she was one of the keynotes at Barcelona 2023. She is one of my PhD students.
Okay. I think my wife would be very interested.
And she is presenting a project in the Ars Electronica tomorrow. So
amazing.
We are building interesting things around that, but we are, in terms of master, we are still in the process of designing the master. We later have to send the master definition to the agency that validate that this can be an official master.
Yeah. And my wife, she already has her Master's of Art Education, so if she was interested in working with you and developing
we have an open call. It starts, I think, in October, and I mean, from October to February is an open call for PhD students.
Okay.
You can also, as a candidate, you can ask for a grant. There's a limited a number of grants, but to be accepted, you need to have a recommendation letter from one of the WOC faculty.
Okay, good to know.
So we can.
Thank you so much.
We can.
Anybody else looking for jobs? Okay, Richard.
Hi, Enric. Absolutely wonderful, and you are the right person to do the talk, absolutely. And I love the academic kind of structuring of things, but of course it then leads me into questions. And one of them is about craft and sculpture, kinetics, those kinds of physical things. I wondered what you feel about them. Obviously, because I'm a Turtle Stitch fan, what do you feel about the kind of handcrafting being machine crafting, by being computer controlled? I'll shut up.
Thank you. I think we are in the same ship on that, because most of the projects I presented here is group work, right? So sometimes I talk as myself. But when we thought about what would we like to do in that course, we had for sure the idea that the physical computing should be there. And for us, preparing the kit, sending the kit, and providing educational support for the kit is a nightmare. And sometimes when I'm tired, I think next edition of the course I will delete that, because it's a lot of work, because we are online asynchronous. So at the end, Joan, that is the laboratory teacher, in some cases has to say, okay, let's connect at that time, and you show me step by step what you're doing. So that's very difficult. In other courses that they use another kind of material or physical tools, for example, they develop, like there is a network of fab labs, or the fabrication labs, that we have an agreement with them. So our students, if they want to go and produce something physically, they can go there and they receive support there. I have to say that very few students do that, because since we are online, why people go to an online university? Because they have other things to do, I mean, during the day, like work or taking care of something or someone. So I don't have available afternoons to go to a fabrication lab, right? But we are, I mean, some of us, as I mean, the faculty are big defendants of that. But I have to say that the university, the last, I mean, we change the board every 7 years. The last board was decided everything should be digital. There's no physical sending anything to the students. So the kids survive because a group of us say, if you terminate our kit, we stop teaching that thing. So, but sometimes it's a nightmare. But we are there.
So this is not a question. This is I want to reiterate that you were absolutely the right person for this keynote. And I also want to say something. You kept thanking the Snap community and thanking, you are part of the Snap community, so, and so thank yourself too. And I want to help you too, because every single one of these things that you pushed for Snap to include has made Snap better. And sometimes we were reluctant at first, and then after implementing it, we were like, we should have always had this there. So thank you for your vision and your
thank you.
Persistence.
And I still have my comments for the performing mode that we still don't agree on how to should work. But
yes.
Yeah, no, completely agree with that. But I explicitly wanted to be thankful because I also felt that without you, and you are, I'm part of you, I would not be able to do that. So, and with you especially because you live in Barcelona, we speak Catalan, and you are nice. No, at the end, I called him, I wrote him, and say, now I cannot meet with you to explore whatever. So at the end, I reached to that point, but it was high level asking things. So thank you.
Okay, we have 2 more questions. Tess
May
first.
I make a comment from outside?
Sorry. Well,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
yeah, now we can. Yeah, we can hear you. Go.
It's me, Joachim.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you very much, Enric, for mentioning my book. The problem with my book was it's written in German, and the majority of my audience was outside Germany. Now your material is in Spanish. Yo no hablo español. Sorry. Have you an idea to translate it?
Not yet. Adding the yet because I would like. The first thing when I discovered your website and your book, I went to the department at my university that help us to develop learning materials, and I asked them, I want to translate that book to Catalan and Spanish because the course is taught in Catalan and Spanish. And after 3 months, so they told me, we cannot translate that. I still don't understand why. But for them, no, I somehow I understand because it's not only a translation of a textbook. It was the translator should be someone that knows Snap, knows the tool, how to change languages, how to describe everything. So it was difficult. But I feel that. No, I cannot say that here. I will tell you later. But we try to translate your book, I mean, and make an agreement with you. But nobody contacted you because with their exploration, they decided to not do that. I still would like to do something like that or something together to explore that. But I have to say, I have educational budget of the course for developing materials in Catalan and Spanish, but we should ask for a grant or for a project to help us to get some funding to do that, because we will need help. But I would like to work with you on that.
Okay. We'll keep in contact.
Great, thank you.
Woo.
Mine is not a question. You are the right keynote speaker. I am the software developer.
Thank you for that.
And it's for me an expansion of my, world. If I see how the software can be used in a different context than what I know, and I like it very much. But people like me do not only see the semantic, but also the syntax part of even the presentation. That's why I noticed that the Hungarian artist was actually died before she was born.
Okay, Jens.
Okay, while you look at this, Enric, I've got this provocative question for you. What's the employment gap for artists? Like, there must be more demand for artists than you are churning out. I've got a follow-up. Of course, it's provocative because there isn't any, right?
No, we are talking about arts, literature, liberal arts, humanities, so there's no employment. I mean, we built a world and a society that we value those profiles in spite of building an environment that we reject them. But they are needed at everywhere.
Thank you, Enric. This is why I love you, and this is why I really think this is a very, very important keynote address, because it reminds us, computer scientists and pseudo-computer scientists, what computing and computer science can be about. Not about filling a skill gap for the industry, but for providing a medium, another medium for us to connect to each other, a medium for expression, a medium for exploration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And also, so I think we all need to shape technology. If not, technology will shape, it's shaping us, right? We are all sharing things in a way that sharing things, photos or the chat of that afternoon is designed in a way that someone decided to be designed that way. But we want to work in that way, or we want to shape that way of communicating. So one suggestion, we should use our own chat environment, not the Zoom, that is a private big company environment. It's a suggestion.